What's up, YouTube? This is Megan from the HoodAstroQ. Welcome back to my channel. To my returning subscribers, however, if this is your first time joining me on today, welcome. It is here that we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of our favorite celebrities, world events, but most importantly, ourselves. If you like what you see, thumbs up this video and subscribe to become a part of the family. So, as you can see, today we are doing yet another celebrity natal chart reading, this time on none other than Darrius McCoy. So I thought this was a really interesting story because recently transgender diva slash actress Sydney Starr made her relationship with Darrius McCoy public. So she took to her social media to basically confirm the fact that they have been dating for about a year, which I actually follow her on Instagram. So this was like a really bad kept secret. Like I saw this coming a mile away just based on him in her comment section, how they would interact. And I used to just be like, what y'all got going on? But, you know, a lot of people are shocked, and I was just looking at some of the comments in the shade room, and per usual, I don't even know why I expected anything different. Most of them were really just disgusting and rooted in a lot of homophobia. You know, the first thing bitches say when, you know, a gay man or a trans woman, you know, is occupied or dating someone or finds love and happiness is, why am I single? Bitch, because you're a horrible person. That's probably why you're still single. You're unattractive. If not on the outside, then definitely on the inside, because only an unattractive person will compare themselves to the next person and feel like they deserve love over the next person. Like, bitch, you're a weirdo. But anyway, so if anything, I mean, the only thing that had me taken aback was the fact that Sydney referred to herself as a hardworking celebrity in in the caption. I was like, girl, you're pushing it. But, you know, if she's happy, that's cute, that's fine. I mean, they actually look good together, in my opinion. But I still did want to take a look at Darrius's natal chart just to see, you know, what could support him, you know, being trans attracted. So without further ado, here we go. So Darrius McCoy was born May 1st, 1976 in Walnut, California. And although his exact time of birth is unknown, we can safely deduce that his sun sits at the 11th degree of Taurus, conjoined to his south node at the 12th degree of Taurus. Now, a person with their sun at the 11th degree could typically experience a lot of issues in regards to their identity. And with the sun even dealing with a man's vitality, even his sexuality, to a certain extent, you know, that could definitely be a part of it, right? Where there could be some sort of like affliction, or, you know, where someone is just really conflicted. And when you also take into account that his sun is forming in opposition to that Scorpio North Node, you know, it just, a lot of it deals with, and a lot of the discomfort rests upon the fact that these are people who could struggle and feel kind of torn in terms of being, you know, a really like respectable person and upstanding person versus embracing a darker part of themselves, or what they deem to be a darker part of themselves, right? Things that may be taboo. And he also has his Uranus at the 4th degree, which, I mean, Uranus is one of those planets that can bring about, you know, queerness, whether it be same-sex attraction or whatever the case may be. And with it being at the 4th degree, the number 4 is ruled by Uranus, so it's kind of like a double dose of that Uranian energy. Uranus is also conjoined to his Scorpio North Node as well. So in essence, having his sun in opposition to that Uranus in Scorpio could also further reinforce this theme where, you know, he could have a lot of, or be wrestling with a lot of those, you know, taboo kind of impulses, a lot of homosexual impulses and urges. So technically in this lifetime, he has, you know, he's well within his rights to kind of embrace that and walk on the wild side, walk on the dark side. I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, I mean, not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but, you could tell where this opposition occurs that this is something that he may have been struggling with for a very, very long time. And something else that supports that is the fact that he also has that infamous, another one of the biggest signs of same-sex attraction, especially in men. He has this Cancer Mars at the 21st degree. The number 21 reduces to 3, which, could even deal with there being some kind of like religious implications. Like a lot of these people could come from religious families and whatnot, especially when we talk about, in the sign of Cancer. But Cancer Mars individuals a lot of times can carry same-sex attraction. So that Cancer Mars is conjoined to Saturn, which also reinforces this concept of, once again, there being these feelings, but him not being comfortable with it, or maybe taking the time to suppress it, or caring a lot about his reputation, and so therefore trying to kind of control that. It could also speak to a man who may have like a bone to pick with women too, like issues with women. I tend to see these conjunctions in the charts of a lot of abusers, female abusers, and it doesn't help that he also has Venus conjoined to Chiron, okay, in Aries at that. So, which is so interesting because it makes me think about his relationship with Superhead, aka Corinne Stephens. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but the infamous video vixen Corinne Stephens, they actually were supposed to be an item or a couple in like back in the either early 2010s or the late 2000s era. There was like this really big scandal because she was reported like jumping on top of his car. Like they would get into like these really public altercations or like weird, incidents, and people just automatically thought, Corinne Stephens was crazy, which, I mean, more than one thing could be true at once. But, he definitely has a chart of a man who could either attract a lot of abusive women. I'll say that. But he himself could also be very abusive and have very like abusive tendencies. So like domestic violence and things like that. Just wouldn't be outside the realm of plausibility, especially when you consider the fact that he does have that Venus in Aries and Chiron squaring his Cancer Mars. And then, Mars and Saturn, it's just a lot. Like I could really see him being really cruel or physically harming a woman, or vice versa. Same thing with that Venus squaring his Saturn. But, I digress. That Saturn in conjunction to his Mars in Cancer just also really speaks to the fact that he could have a lot of effeminate ways. It may have been like that for, a lot of his life, but these are people who will go out of their way to, try to suppress it or control it. He's also a Gemini moon with his moon conjoined to Mercury in Gemini as well, which is another, every Gemini moon man or a man with his Mercury in Gemini isn't necessarily gay or queer or whatever the case may be. But, in tandem with everything else, this could also definitely explain his attraction, his trans attraction. Also, when you consider the fact that his moon is forming in opposition to Neptune, okay, that could literally deal with him liking trans women, or where he could have an attraction to, women who maybe like who could dress up, or where he could have some of those kind of tendencies himself, like wearing makeup or, having a flair, that kind of feminine flair. So, that's interesting. Even when you think about that Uranus in Scorpio opposing his sun as well, that could even deal with quite literally like an attraction to like trans people also. And with Venus conjoined to Chiron, that could even deal with him attracting women who may not be full women. And don't beat me up in the comment section. Y'all know what I mean, okay? Trans women, because I know somebody's going to say, trans women are women. You know what I mean? Like, where there could be, because Chiron does represent things that are, artificial, or where something could just not be quite right. You know what I mean? Where you kind of get a little bit more than what you bargained for, which makes a lot of sense. And you got to think about the fact that, Venus in Aries, especially because you're in the Chiron, that's a lot of masculine energy there. So dealing with women, who may have a little extra little package. He also has his asteroid Eros, which is one of those asteroids that can deal with like our sexual desires and things like that, things that we really crave sexually. It's running parallel to his Chiron, that Chiron in Aries, which once again can point towards a lot of sexual attraction towards masculinity. He also has Venus in opposition to Uranus, which is another telltale sign of, queer attraction, or, LGBTQ plus, type of relationships. He also has his Jupiter at that 8th degree of Taurus, conjoined to his Sun and South Node, which also further reinforces this concept of there potentially being some type of religious indoctrination, or, just him being someone who places a lot of value in, normalcy and things like that. But with Jupiter also forming in opposition to that Uranus and Scorpio North Node, it just deals with, him teetering and tottering back and forth throughout the course of his life in terms of being, be leaning more into his desires versus conforming to, the status quo and what everybody feels like he needs to do, even within the entertainment industry, hence that Sun influence conjoined to the South Node too. So, you could even look at this as like that shocking reveal, the shocking truth coming out about his sexual preferences. And I mean, like I said, if you ask me, he's doing right by leaning into it. So, yeah, I didn't want to make this long and drawn out, but I did want to provide some astrological context because that's what we do here, okay? So, be who you are for your pride. Congratulations to Mr. Darrius and Sydney Starr. And so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye.